guys, and welcome back to your one room schoolhouse. If you're new here, my name is Mary Barfield and I'm a homeschooling mama to a first and a third grader. And today's video is going to be all about Math with Confidence second grade level. Now, my youngest daughter, my first grader, is doing this level right now. Just a little backstory on her. She has completed preschool math at home, which is also by Kate Snow. Then she did her kindergarten level and she's completed her first grade level, which we just finished a few weeks ago, which is why we are now on to second grade math. My oldest daughter is also at present doing her third grade level, which I actually just put out a review video on. If you want to check that out, I'll link it down below. I actually have a whole playlist on Math with Confidence. If you want to go see any of the levels that we have completed from kindergarten to third grade, go click on the link down below and it'll take you to the playlist. But as you can tell, we're pretty big fans of it. We are only 4 weeks into this, so I can't give you a true review yet since we're so early into it. So this is gonna be more of a first impression and a flip through of the program if you're looking at it, but I can tell you that we will probably do very well with this level as well, but I won't give that official review until we've gotten further into the program. So if you're not familiar with Kate Snow, she has created obviously this whole Math with Confidence series. It is a really great program that is quite economical. It is very well priced. There are some really expensive math programs out there, and this is one of those that is more affordable for us homeschool moms. So with that, it comes with a instructor guide, the second grade level does, as well as a student workbook. Now, the student workbook is a physical guide, but I actually took the pages out because they're perforated, and then I cut off the front and the back, and I spiral bound it myself because my daughter likes it better that she can flip it around, like she can do this, you know, and just have it like that on the table. It just works better for her sensory style. I don't know. So you get a student workbook, you get a parent workbook. I'm going to flip this camera around here in a second and get you into both of these books, but first I kind of just want to do some high level overview of the program, of the books, etc. So this is an open and go style program. It is scripted for the parent, making it super easy to implement even if math wasn't your favorite thing, or even if math was your favorite thing. It's different than trying to teach somebody math, so having it scripted really does help. It is a Singapore-inspired program. It's not exactly how Singapore teaches, but it is very heavily influenced by Singapore, which I really like because I love the way Singapore teaches. So I like that they take a lot from that. However, I would call this not completely mastery-based. It is mastery in the way that it is set up with the different units and the way that you're approaching the material. However, it is a lot of review as well inside of it. So it's kind of, you get the best of both worlds of spiral and mastery, in my opinion. You can't call it either one exactly, I would say. But that works great for my kiddos. I love that there's a daily review, and if it's something my kids already know, we just skip it. It's really not a big deal. But then we still really focus in our mastery in the way that we're approaching a new concept. Other thing that I wanted to mention is that if you are international or if you have lots of students and you would be better suited to have a PDF version of this curriculum, that is available. I actually purchased the PDF student workbook for my third graders curriculum, and I just print out the sheets every time we finish a unit. I print out a new sheet because I know that my youngest daughter, we've been doing this for so long, I know that my youngest daughter is going to stick with this, and I'll be able to print her off a new student workbook without having to pay for a whole brand new one. So that's a big cost savings there. So if you want it physical, you can get it physically off Amazon, that's great, or the Well-Trained Mind. But if you want the PDF version, I'll link it down below. You can go to the Well-Trained Mind and select the PDF version, which is a little cheaper as well. So one thing I love that Kate Snow has done with all of her Math with Confidence levels is she's also made the math kit that you will need very affordable to put together. She doesn't have one available that you can purchase like all put together, and I know for some families that might be tough because they just want it. They'd rather spend the extra money and have it delivered to them and have it all ready to go. But for me, I love the fact that it is easily put together with things from your house and small things that you can purchase from Dollar Tree or off Amazon. So in the front of the instructor guide, we'll get into this when I flip the camera around more. It says this is the stuff you will need for this level for this year, and you put it together at the beginning of the year. It's all ready to go. I have mine in a big Ziploc bag. I have a ton of these from Amazon. They're amazing. I use them for all sorts of stuff. And this is everything I need for the second grade level and the third grade level. The only thing that I don't have in here, and I have just kept it in its wooden box, is this alarm clock toy. I honestly don't remember where I got this from. I'll try and link it down below if it's off Amazon. If it's not, I'll try and find one similar to it. But both my girls are, well, mostly my youngest is working on time. Every once in a while, my oldest will have a lesson that's bringing in time, but like more incremental, like down to the minute now we're getting there. So this is it. This is all you need for your math kit. And that's easy to store in our, I have a teacher card, like a metal teacher card. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. The only other thing that I have that's outside of the 2 books is, here's my working binder. This has all of my instructor guides in here. They recommend getting some page protectors and getting some of those and then printing off or photocopying in the book, but you can print them off of the Well-Trained Mind under the samples, the Black Line Masters, and then putting them in these plastic protectors, because then what I use is I use a dry erase marker and we write on them easily. Like here we have the part total matte. I'll show you this more when we flip the camera around. It'll be a lot easier to see. And then I have my oldest daughters for 2nd grade, and then I have my youngest daughters for the 2nd grade math, and then my oldest daughter has hers for her 3rd grade math, and it's all in one spot. So that's pretty much it. That's everything there is to the math program. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this camera around and get you into the books, show you what's in there. What does a lesson look like? For us, it normally takes about 15 minutes to complete a lesson. I've been requested by some of you to share a day in the life of doing a lesson with Math with Confidence Level 3 as well as with 2nd grade. So I'm definitely gonna get those filmed here for you guys and get them up soon for you so you can kind of see what it actually looks like firsthand. But right now I'm at least gonna show you what it is in the book, and you can kind of get in your mind's eye what a lesson might look like. So without further ado, let's turn this camera around. All right, y'all, we are working with some bright natural light. Hopefully this looks okay on camera for you guys. So we have the student workbook here and we have the instructor guide. Let's first get into the instructor guide, and then we'll bring this back when we get into what a lesson looks like. All right, so first thing we've got here is in the beginning, you have your table of contents. So this shows you everything that you will learn this year in this program. So this is the last level that is set up this way. After this, they change the format and how they organize the units. So each unit has individual weeks in it. You're talking about a specific topic within the unit, and then you have those different weeks that you're talking about that unit. So each week has either 4 or 5 lessons. You have 4 main lessons that you need to complete in order to complete the entire program, but they also offer a 5th optional enrichment day, and that includes actually a picture book, which I think is so fun. So here you'll see that this one has 32 weeks of lessons, 14 total units. So I'm going to leave this here if you want to pause it so you can look. We have review, addition, facts, and word problems, just making sure we all know our addition facts as well as our subtraction facts, numbers to 200, graphs, mental addition to 100. That's one of the things I love about this program. It is very big on conceptual. It's not rote memory. It's teaching them how to do mental math, because we do that on a daily basis. It's so much easier in life if you can do mental math getting through life. But I love that it's conceptual in the fact that it explains the why, not just, hey, memorize these facts. Here's so you understand why 4 + 5 = 9. You also talk about time. You're doing to the hour and to the minute in this level. I'm going to leave this here so you can pause it if you want to look. We also have mental subtraction to 100, length, written addition to 200. We even get into geometry and fractions, numbers to 1,000, and then addition and subtraction in the last few weeks up to 1,000. So each of her levels is set up the same way, where they have this welcome to 2nd grade math. And it's just kind of a note from Kate Snow. This is what you're going to learn this week, this year. All of her lessons are scripted, open and go. They have very specific goals that they're telling you you're going to learn with each lesson and each unit, which I love that she does that. Something else that I love that she does is her checkpoints. Each unit ends with a checkpoint saying, hey, is your kiddo ready to move on? If they can do X, Y, and Z, then yes, you're ready to move on. If they can't, here's what you should do to help them get ready to move on. A lot of programs will say, hey, maybe your kid's not ready to move on if they don't know this stuff, but they won't tell you, hey, you should do these exercises or do these word problems or etc. to get mastered, to get that understanding of that concept mastered so you can move on.
That's what I love about that makes, I think, sets it aside for Math with Confidence, is that they actually tell you what to do so you don't feel lost as a homeschooling parent. Also, I think something to note is that the parent guide is black and white, but the student guide is full color. So if you're like, oh, I don't like that it's only black and white, my kid's not gonna like that, never fear. She knows that the kiddos love the color, so she kept the color in the student guide. She keeps this black and white, I think, because she's trying to keep costs down and be able to pass on the savings to us homeschooling parents, which I thoroughly appreciate. So yes, deep conceptual understanding. I love that. Proficiency with fundamental skills. We're going for mastery here. But again, we still have that daily review in there. This is a thing. Math with confidence. The reason it says with confidence is because we are building positive attitudes around math. We are building confidence in our children to feel like they can do the math. Because I will tell you, with my oldest daughters, our first foray into math was pretty rough. Her first homeschooling year, there was a lot of tears, there was a lot of upsetness, and I was sitting there at one point going, oh my gosh, my kid is hating math and I can't have that. One, because I love math. Math is just something that I've always just been naturally inclined to, but also I know that if my kid starts hating math, it's going to get harder and harder every year to try and have her understand and learn new concepts. So I knew we had to make a change, and that's where I entered first grade Math with Confidence. After that, she had all the confidence in the world with math, and that was exactly what we needed. So yes, so moving forward, here, this is important to talk about. So within the lesson, so she bold text indicates what you say as the parent. So that's your script. Italics is what they should say, or a sample answer of what the student should say back to you. And then any gray highlighted text indicates explanatory notes, meaning it's explaining something to you, the parent. Not that you have to explain it to your child, but she's saying, hey, this is why we're explaining it this way so you can teach it better because you understand the why behind it too. Let's see. So every lesson starts with a warm-up, takes about 5 minutes. Then you have your hands-on activity, aka the actual lesson. That should take about 10 to 15 minutes. And then your student will have a workbook that they will do at the end of the lesson for 5 to 10 minutes. I will get into that in a second. Each lesson for the student workbook will be 1 page back and front, so 2 sheets, or 1 sheet, 2 pages, we'll call it. The front will be a review of the actual lesson. When you flip it over, that'll be a review of everything you've learned up until this point. So again, lots of review built in, and I love that. And then of course you have your enrichment lesson that you can do, which brings in a picture book. There's an enrichment activity, etc. Talking about the unit checkpoints, again, those are phenomenal. I'll show you one in the book so you can see what that looks like. Here, what you will need. This is where you build your math kit. So for 2nd grade, you will need base 10 blocks. The only thing I don't have in that bag, zipper bag that I showed you, are my blocks, because we actually have a used set of the Math-U-See blocks, and I just keep them in its own, like it's in like a fishing tackle box is the best way to explain it, and it all fits in there perfectly. So I just pull that out whenever we use the blocks. I don't have them in my actual kit, but you don't need to have all those blocks. You could just get these. Honestly, I saw these at my dollar store the other day, or you can get them online for a set for like 20, 25 bucks at most. Small counters. I don't buy the math counters. We just get erasers from the Dollar Tree or Walmart, and my kids like them so much better. We have a set, and I'll show it to you in my kit, of Play Money that we purchased ages ago, and I'll link that down below. I'll link anything down below I can. You need a ruler, a clock with hands, 2 packs of playing cards and 2 dice, blank paper, pencils, page protectors, dry erase markers, and a binder that you can put all those page protectors in. So I kind of showed all that to you in, previously. So before we get in here, I'm actually going to share with you some of those manipulatives we have. So this is the alarm clock toy I have. So we're able to do hour, minute, etc. Then here is the bag with all the goodies in it. And again, this is for my oldest daughter too. So like this is for my oldest daughter's level. We don't need that. So we have money in baggies like this. We have playing cards. I have a little jar here that has paper clips in it randomly because we have used those before for stuff. There's dice in here that I got from my Dollar Tree. Again, very simple from there. We have our Play Money. And then I keep our dry erase markers in a little bin on the side. I think that's it. That's in here that I want to show you. We keep our dry erase markers in a bin on the side of our cart. And then here is my working binder that has the Blackline Masters in it. So we have Charlotte's Math. These are all the Blackline Masters. Again, these are in the back of this book. I'll show you. So you can photocopy these and print them if you want. But if you don't want to photocopy them and you want a clean copy that's going to print well, you just go to welltrainedmind.com, go to the instructor guide for 2nd grade, and underneath it'll say samples or Blackline Masters. You click on that and you print that file, and it's all there for free. So we have place value up to the thousands. We have our dot array, we have 200 chart, and then mosaic puzzle pieces. So that's the other thing. I didn't print out everything because we didn't need it. She had play money that you could print out. She has everything in here. So she tries to make it as affordable as possible to use her math program, which I appreciate so much because math can get very expensive. So let's move on to here. Let's move on to Unit 2. Okay, here we go. So we have checkpoint for Unit 1 here. What to expect at the end of this unit. Is your child ready to move on? This is gold. What to do if your child needs more practice. And then she explains what you should do. When you get further in here, she'll say, hey, go back to this unit and do this game like every day for a week and see how they do. Like, she gives you a lot of good stuff. Right now we're in a review section of this book, so there's not a whole lot of checkpointing going on, but you get what I'm saying. So Unit 2, at the beginning of every unit, they will show you an overview, what your child will learn, the weeks, and what they will learn within those weeks, the recommended math picture books if you are doing the enrichment study, so you can get them from your library or you can purchase them off Amazon or thrift store or whatever. So here, then it'll say, okay, week 4, here's a quick overview of what you will learn in the 4 lessons for week 4. It's very well done and well laid out and organized. So every day when I open the book, let's say we're doing lesson 4.1, I will look and say, okay, what materials do I need? I pull those out before I even have my kids sit down. What do we need for the warm-up? What do we need for the activities that we're doing? And then obviously work page for the workbook. Here's the warm-up. Does my kid know all of this, or should I have her redo it? I had her redo this at the beginning because we were reviewing everything. I just wanted to make sure everything was good. And then that took about 3-4 minutes, and then we moved on to the activity, reviewing plus 9 facts. So here you'll see the bold is what I say. Here in the italics is what she will say. So I would say, what are some things that you know by heart? She might say the alphabet, a song, a poem, how to count to 20, things like that. So it gives you options of what they might say back to you. And then we move forward. I'll pull out my Blackline Master for the 10 frame. I have a whiteboard that I write on, and I write 9 plus 7. So she says write it on a piece of paper. We are big fans of whiteboards and dry erase markers. So we use the whiteboard and dry erase marker, and it's like this big. It's perfect. So we do all our math on that. And then she'll say, okay, repeat what you did up here with these. And then once you're done, you move on to an activity that you get to play. So this was fun. So you do addition crash. So I'll get all the materials out, the deck of cards, everything. We play the game, and then she does her workbook. So let's pull out the workbook for this one. Okay, rather than show you my daughter's work, because I don't know if she'd be okay with that, I'm just going to show you a random level. So let's say this was the lesson that we were doing that day. So this first page would tell us, or would review what we just learned, the new concept today. And then we'd flip it over, and then she would do this page, and this would be all review of anything learned in this level up to this point, up to 13.4. She actually does this and this page on her own at this point. She's reading right now, so that's great. If there is something she doesn't understand, I'll help her with it. But for the most part, she's pretty independent with this workbook page, which is fantastic. Like I said, this is all color. It's really engaging for the student. She loves it. The other thing she loves is that she's like, oh, I'm moving from teal to purple next week. Or when she moves on from a lesson, a unit, the color changes, and she like loves keeping track of that for some reason. The other thing to note is in here, it does show you a table of contents, but it doesn't break it down by week. It keeps it pretty high level. And here's an example for week 1.1. The front, the first page to review the concept was just a game, like that she and I did together. And then after that, she moved on to the work page to do the review. There's some food right there. Oh, look at that. Lovely. We do snacks while we do math. Okay, guys, sorry. So something else I wanted to share with you is that, so we're on lesson 5.2. So at the end of every unit, so I keep a tab like this that I can move, a sticky that I can move so I can get to the lesson easily. But the end of every unit, there is something called the answer key. So I put a little tab there for the answer key. Now, the math we are doing is not hard. this is stuff I can do easily. However, I will say when I'm trying to move through the day really, really fast and move on to the next subject, being able to look here and say, okay, she got that right, she got that right, she got that right, check, check, check. I go over here, check, 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 check. I move on. I do use the answer key in this level because it just makes it where I can move on from math to poetry or history or whatever so much quicker. Don't knock it until you try it, I know. But something else I wanted to share besides the answer key is that at the back they do have the Black Line Masters as well as some other important information that I think is worth sharing with you guys. So let's go check that out. Okay, so after the last checkpoint, you have this, which is your complete memory work list. Every so often, every few weeks, it shows here what week, you are introduced to a new memory work that you're working on. How many 10s equal 100? It's like being able to say things quickly. So there are some rote memorization stuff, but she doesn't do anything that you haven't already learned from a conceptual perspective. Like when she brings in week 6, how many 10s equal 100, you've already reviewed 10 10s as 100 conceptually, and now you're just saying it quickly. So that, we also have a more in-depth scope and sequence. This would be great if your state requires you to provide a lot of information about the curriculum you're using. You can copy both those pages and send it into them. Here is the complete picture book list, again, for those day 5 enrichment lessons. If you want to do 5 days of math, so on Fridays, and you just want to go ahead and get them all at once at the beginning of the year, that's your main list. You have a materials list for anything extraneous that you're doing. This is often for those enrichment lessons that are Friday lessons, but we don't do the enrichment lesson. We just do 4 days a week. We have some game lists and extra board games if you want them. Here's the Black Line Masters. We have double 10 frames, part total map. We have a blank number line. So again, you can copy these and print them out, or like I did, you can just print them fresh from the Well-Trained Mind. We have place values here. We have a dot array in the L cover. So this is the L cover. We have our 200 chart. We have the puzzle pieces. We have fraction bars, but I actually already own some. I forgot to show them to you. They're in here. This little guy are fraction bars because I bought those for my oldest daughter's 3rd grade kit, so I already had them. And then again, she has play money here, so you don't even have to buy play money if you don't want to, as well as she has base 10 blocks. You can just copy these and print them on cardstock and color them in if you want to make them a little sturdier. You could even laminate them, everything, y'all. So she makes it about as easy as possible to do this program for as budget friendly as possible. So that is it. That is Math with Confidence 2nd grade. Hopefully I didn't talk y'all's ear off. Hopefully I answered any questions you guys might have had, but if not, obviously you know where to find me in the comments. But we are loving it. It's been going great. First impression. I imagine in a couple months I will be giving you a final review where it's fantastically amazing and we still are loving it. So that's it, guys.
All right, y'all, I hope that video was helpful, informative, somewhat entertaining, any of the above. If you have any questions about anything I discussed in this video, leave those down in the comments. You know I'm more than happy to talk to you guys down there. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you stick around, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.